Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun. 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 Our shenanigans.
I like to think of myself as a champion.
We're all champions.
We are. Nick, are you a champion?
Gay champion.
Well,
You guys are. You guys are victories.
it still means that you're a champion, and that means it's time to say welcome to
Punkass.
and Random Heroes Cheeky Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
I'm Jesse, also known as Random Hero.
And I'm Nick, a.k.a. Punkass, because that's my name. And
Third time's the charm. We got DJ Fallen in the house.
What up, your friendly neighborhood DJ?
And you can thank him for our new intro music, which you heard at the beginning of last episode, and you'll definitely hear on this one. For a while, we're still going to use our old music also, and I really like to use yours as like a promo bit of music, like when we do the little Instagram videos and stuff.
the little guy.
Yeah, I saw it on an
Yeah.
Instagram video of one episode. I can't remember who or what
Stephanie.
she was. Yeah,
yeah.
that's who it was. I think that was like one of the last episodes I listened to. I also listened to you guys' very first episode.
Yeah, is that
And
crazy or what?
Holy shit! No, I am so excited that you guys have come so far. Like this is what I wanted to tell you. This is what I wanted to tell you before, but I was like, no, I'll wait till we start the podcast. But it's amazing to listen to you guys progress as entertainers and artists, from like going from this one channel single mono audio that Nick's in this ear, Jesse's in this ear, or they're both in one ear, the guest in the other, and now it's like I can, when I'm at work at my shithole day job, because fucking I suck.
We all have them.
Yeah. Anyways, it's okay to suck. It's
Just
cool.
ask Nick.
It's cool to have you guys in stereo. So
Yeah.
it's awesome to see your guys' progression, and with the cameras and stuff too. Like I've been here and like seen the cameras upgrade and like the equipment upgraded. So it's just cool.
Well,
Like,
thanks,
it
man.
makes me excited for you guys.
We put a lot into this show, like not even just like money and stuff, but just time. We're always trying to find ways that we can make it a little bit better, a little bit more fun, funny, all that kind of shit. And sometimes we do all right, sometimes not. But overall, I think there's generally
I try not to
progression there.
listen to the old ones anymore. I go back every now and then just to see what we sounded like and what we were talking about.
Yeah, the topics I think are the funniest parts.
Like
for
in the
me.
beginning, I tried to schedule the whole show with different like time limits. Now it's just more fun to do it this way.
Yeah, just let it be. Do you guys ever go back to listen to your old podcasts as artistic references to where you can improve on stuff on? Or just to like kind of reminisce and be like, wow, I've come like this so far? Because I do that. I'll listen to like my really old stuff and then stuff now, and it's so different. It's just...
I try to go back and listen to the words that I say a lot and then not use those anymore.
Well, most of the words you say are slightly offensive, and
Like I feel like black guys are racist.
What?
Black guys in general are racist.
Wow.
you know,
think so?
See, I was just trying to bring up this point, dude.
you never talked about that before. Let's dig deeper. I took some psychology. Why do you?
Well,
what makes
if
feel
you
this
think
way?
about it, okay, me going into
Well, they don't like you because you're white.
Well, okay, that's my
And
point.
you're offensive.
It's a stereotype, dude. Because if I was going in a dark alleyway,
I'm sorry, you are the white cis male.
Why does the alleyway have to be dark?
it's always dark. And if a black guy came up and he was none like lethal or threatening, I would still be like, oh shit, I better fucking hurry up and pass him or get away.
He's probably feeling the same fucking way.
There's
about you.
no
You're a white
way.
dude. No,
No
I'm
way.
dead serious.
No.
He's like, this guy's gonna call ice on me or something.
You know how many people approach me after they get to know me? They're like, "Oh, you're such a nice guy. You're so
Yeah,
nice." Blah
because-
blah. And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And they're like, "Well, the first time I met you, I'm like, here it comes." They're
Yeah.
like, I thought you were a fucking dick. That's what you think.
You
of
know-
me.
Now, is that because of the way that we try to look?
I don't know, but you seem to rag on face tattoos a lot.
I'm talking about in general with the rappers, dude.
Yeah, he's talking about
Like-
mumble rappers.
Oh,
when
I
he's
know. I
making
didn't,
fun of
take
that.
any offense of it.
Yeah.
I'm different.
God damn it! What?
I
Oh,
mean,
I
technically,
totally lost my
you
train
don't
of
have,
thought.
like a
Homie,
like
I
an
got
upside cross.
I got
or-
like
Oh.
Well, I know that, but I mean, you don't try to go out like here.
no,
No.
I have them tastefully done.
Yeah.
My tattoo artist loves me and like wants to keep me employed, so he's like, "No, we're gonna put it here."
And plus, you always wear hats, so it's
Yeah.
always covered.
But it's not
pretty
like I don't come with a warning label. I mean, it's like,
Speaking of always wearing hats, Sky, one of our best guests from season 1, she's been doing Nick's hair now for a little while, and he refuses to ever actually like let it show.
I was thinking about letting it show tomorrow night.
At the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you said last time.
Yeah, but this time we did it like shorter, so it actually like spikes up
Yeah.
and stuff. So
now back to what you were saying, I do listen to a lot of the old stuff, mostly for artistic reference, and like what Nick was saying, to listen for things that I do wrong or words that I say as crutches. You know, like no one wants to say like or a whole bunch.
or
But
I feel like
I've also noticed that I tend to say real quick a lot whenever I'm about to bring up a topic.
real quick, dude.
Yeah,
Let me say something.
Exactly.
Let me
And then
get
it
in
just
here.
derails the show, and it's never really quick.
I've noticed that.
Okay. and so, yeah, we're always trying to find ways that we can, get around that. But also, like Nick was saying, we tried to have structure at first, and we, the episodes were longer. We did a couple that were an hour and a half. And
Yeah, because I remember you're like, fuck it, dude. We're just going to go as long as we are. I'm like, well, dude, sometimes like an hour is kind of good. They don't want to list past 30 minutes sometimes.
Right. And I think that we
I kind of disagree with that.
Do you?
Okay.
Well,
Especially when I'm at work. Okay, so I work an 8-hour day. And I'm sure most people that listen to this, or I assume most people that listen to it, also have an 8-hour day, either like in an office setting or something, something where they can just actively listen to this. I think like doing maybe like a end of the month special that's maybe more than an hour and a half. I would say like I could probably sit through 2 hours. Actually, no, probably hour and a half max. Like a normal movie, and be comfortable with it. Because after about 2 hours, you're like, all right, this is kind of let's pick up the pace, especially in your work day, because it's like you don't want to get stuck in a certain loss of momentum.
That's not a bad idea, maybe. And we've been kind of starting to make some plans for like some kind of a season 2 finale episode where we want to bring on yourself and a couple other people and maybe play some games and
Definitely be down with that.
yeah. And so we want to do like a really cool episode like that at the end of the season. And so there's always those kinds of plans in the works, but also we kind of end up scrambling sometimes. Like we did one with our band with 2 days notice.
yeah, that was crazy.
And there's 3 guys.
I don't
in
think
here
you've
and-
listened to that one yet.
No, he's going to.
Yes, I
So
am.
he says.
No, I will. Probably tomorrow at work when I'm not doing jack shit and they're like paying me to do it. But
Like Joe Rogan
He'll only
are
listen to us when
usually
he's getting paid
are,
to.
are usually like 3 hours long, but since he has the famous and
see,
all these
I
famous
could,
people,
I could
people
totally, I
listen
could totally
to it.
probably
Yeah.
sit there and just listen to like a 3-hour podcast at work, and be totally cool with it, because that's kind of like
Even
how
if
I
it was
time my
like
day out.
like a Joe Schmo show, I guess.
With people
You mean
had
if it was
no-
cheeky shenanigans with you and
Yeah.
Jesse and
Well, you
some
know
other
us
asshole
now, but
guest?
like if you picked a random podcast off the internet and it was 3 hours long, do you really think you would sit down and listen to the
I mean,
whole
I guess
thing?
you have to have interest in it in
Yeah.
the
If
beginning.
so, your guys' show actually gave me interest in podcasts, and I actually got a hold of a guy that runs a podcast. I won't say the name to cross whatever take away from you guys, but like,
Oh,
it's,
you can
it's,
shout him
well,
out, yeah.
it's called Deeper Than Music, and they
So it's music
and
related?
It's music related, but it's about every artist, and like these artists all have stories behind them.
Yeah.
And it's just like you don't really. I tend to support artists more when I either personally know them or know they have a story. That's just like, okay, you beat all odds. Like I'd have never guessed 10 years ago that if you would have told me, walked up to me to the park I was sleeping and be like, look, this is what you're gonna do with your life, I'd be like, why don't you go fuck yourself?
I know.
But lo and behold, like, fucking here I am.
Here you are. Yeah, I mean, and there's a couple others. There's one called This Week in Seattle Rock that we've kind of been following for a while. They've played our band a couple times when we've had shows coming up. There's a guy I know in Everett named Caleb who runs Only Everything. And so there's a whole community, and podcasting is just getting more and more popular. I kind of figured it would fizzle out after a couple of years, but it's gaining speed. So there's going to be more and more opportunities to, meet other podcasters, maybe do a show of theirs and then have them do a show of ours. We'd love
Yeah,
to do
I
all
really
that.
want to do like a guest on someone else's show just to try to, get that experience. It,
Like,
it would be fun.
show up and just be like, yeah, this is Nick from Cheeky Shenanigans.
Yeah. And then answer their questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a certain
Maybe
flow they
they're
wanna do.
racist and homophobic too.
All right, you got
know?
to set me up on this. I'm going to do a dab on
They're-
there, which
I gotta-
I've never done before.
They're doing drugs over here.
gonna set you up.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm dying
I
right
don't
now.
really know.
It's
how
kind
this
of
whole
like
thing
putting a
works.
fucking condom on,
Or
like a
just-
dick, but
well,
it's not your dick.
Yep, you're gonna heat that up till it turns red.
Okay, they're gonna.
And then once that turns red, you'll put the torch down.
Is this
You'll
how
grab
they do
this and
heroin?
put the red
in a way?
tip on the little marijuana
Is there any
crack
heroin
crystals.
addicts? Is this kind of the same thing? Is this what
Why do
they
you
do?
keep talking about heroin?
You know?
This is marijuana,
Heroin?
This is
motherfucker.
marijuana crack, okay?
I was
still
saying
can't
like
breathe
the
right now.
setup could be the
All right,
same as
I'm gonna
heroin.
make my mommy proud.
Do it.
Does
Go
she
big,
watch
go
it?
home.
Whoa, what is? Whoa!
There
You
you
don't
go.
even know how much you're getting when you do
No,
that.
you don't. It's awesome.
Oh shit!
So this is called epoxy.
Now
and
watch
it's actually by a local company
Jesse
called Green Rush.
Go down from here.
Talk about a green rush.
And like the purity of it, like that's been like super like purified a whole bunch, which yeah.
Kind of tastes good too, but like just as I was holding in that hit, I could instantly feel it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I've become a dabber lately. I smoke like a blunt and do some dabs like at least once a
That's
day.
funny because to prepare for this episode, I put on both shows that you were already on. And in season 1, when you did your show,
That was fun.
dabs came up, and you were like, "Yeah, I can't really handle that shit."
Oh,
And
so
now,
now you do it.
and now I'm like every day I'm like I go through like a gram a day.
Yeah, and that was only 3 or 4 months ago that we must have done that episode.
Yeah, I think it was.
Life must have hit you hard, buddy.
Life got
Oh,
pretty
shit.
cool.
You have news that our podcast audience may not have caught this yet.
I was just gonna ask the Sony thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
so
how did that happen? Like, what'd you
Okay,
do? Like, can I
so-
be part of your guys' entertainment industry?
Eventually, if I ever decide to start my own label, which may happen. So, as much reading as I've done about record labels and record label A&Rs, which A&R is artisan recording, which you guys know.
The A&R
So-
rep at the label is the guy who seeks out talent, basically.
And yes, and he also has people that works under him as scouts.
Yeah.
So these scouts, you will never know that they exist. You will not know what they do. You won't know jack shit about them. It could go from anything from a random Twitter follower that lives in New York and you live in fucking Maui to some random Facebook
Well, I
request
mean,
that
that's the
has
point, right? So you
some-
don't try to impress them. or
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah,
you know?
and what they'll do is this scout I've known for fucking years. Like he has seen me struggle, he's seen me come up, he's seen me struggle, he's seen me come up. One day he hits me up. He's like, "How would you like an opportunity at a major deal distribution contract?" And I was like, "Well, that sounds fucking dope."
So
you
what's
know?
that
Right.
mean, though? Like in
So
general?
what that means is anything I produce, anything I artistically make and release to the public, I send to a major label distribution center, and they release it on Spotify, iTunes,
Oh,
anywhere,
nice.
any digital media. And then that solidifies you as an artist.
But you still retain all the rights to it.
Yes, that is very important. You need to read fucking contracts because I did sign a contract years ago, then I didn't keep my master rights.
Ooh.
And they were fucking me on payment, which we won't get into that because fuck them. Fuck that whole label. You guys suck my dick. Fuck off.
Was it Tower Records?
But so, no, it wasn't. So the way this works is that Scout got a hold of me and he says, "Hey, I want to set you up with this guy. Expect a phone call." So lo and behold, I get a phone call from this guy out of state. Says his name is so and so, blah blah blah, and he was like, send me some stuff.
Was it DJ
So-
Lethal?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
we won't go into who it was to protect their
Right.
anonymity. But he said, send me some stuff. So I was like, I kind of have an idea of what I would send as a demo. So I sent him the demo. And even just at this point, when you get a call from any A&R that just says send me something, it doesn't that's an A&R that's saying send me something.
Right.
So
That's
it's like
solicitation.
Yes, that is a big time. It's not sitting on Facebook spamming people in Messenger with your fucking new song that you came out with. No, that's not
like
what this is.
what you
This
have
is
to
big
do.
time.
Yeah.
You need to shoot me an email. So he wanted one email of stuff I had already uploaded and stuff I didn't upload. He was like, "Let me hear it." And he emailed me back. He called me the day after that. So this is like a 3-day process. He's like, "You got a very unique, different sound. I like it." He's like, "I'm going to shoot you a contract. I want you to look it over and get back to me." So obviously it was a good contract because I signed it and I fucking sent it back. And it's been cool. They've really pushed my stuff online as I could tell because I get emails from Spotify now. They're like, "Oh, you have new listeners." I'm like, "Well, that's fucking cool, man."
Nice.
That is cool.
And it's like a lot of stuff I don't have to worry about when I upload because it's like some people when they upload stuff they have to pay for the subscription. It's like I'm not paying for that. I'm just sending it to my A&R representative with some artwork, some information, and he's gonna upload it to every digital platform that Sony has access to.
Dude, we should get one of those.
Yeah, I would love to. But that's kind of the whole problem.
It takes work. It takes work, and it takes knowing people, and those people you gotta have good personal relationships with, even though they may live in fucking Texas.
You know, we need to start getting in, like, the podcast, like, industry, like.
We're
There
working
you
on
go.
it. We've got like
There you
9
go.
listeners on Spotify.
Yeah, dude.
We've got like 38 YouTube subscribers.
See, that's pretty cool though that you're on YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just for YouTube.
It's
in fact.
YouTube world.
I'm like not even
know?
on camera.
You know what was funny, or not funny? It's
There.
actually, I guess it would be kind of sad, but it was just
It's
a
sad.
random thing that happened. But you know the girl who did that overly attached girlfriend meme or that
Yes.
song?
Yeah. I know what
So-
you're talking about.
I've been following her on Instagram for a little while because she always used to upload funny videos, and she just seemed like a really good, genuine person. And she sent out a video last night on YouTube that basically explained that she was leaving YouTube forever after having years of a career based off that one video. And she really got into the nuts and bolts of like how it made her feel and just how it was too much for her at that age and all this stuff. Yeah, and I mean she's got a big heart and she's a really good, genuine person. So I think that the world's going to kind of be lesser for that. But sometimes when people hit that level, I guess it just ends up not being what they expect. Everyone thinks if I get famous or if I get signed, I'm suddenly going to be happy. Well,
No.
It's not true.
yeah,
No.
you've got a
Robin
distro
Williams.
deal with a major label and you still got a day job, you know? Like
Yeah.
it still takes a grind.
Dude.
It does, and this is something they don't tell you with major labels. Like, so say it was a head A&R of Sony that's going to sign you, you're not going to see a dime of a signing money, anything. Because unless you already have that fame there, they have nothing to bank off of. And this is what my fucking A&R told me. He's like, you get famous and then you get rich. He's like, that's how the game is played. And I was like, see, that makes a whole lot more sense than just fucking, oh, we're going to sign you and poof, you're big. And that very rarely happens. Like you
one
have
in a
to-
million. Like what are the odds?
1 in like 10 billion probably. I don't even know if there's that many people on the planet.
There's not. There's about
2?
6.
So probably like one in every third of that.
I mean, how many like really famous people are there? Let's be pretty, generous
100,000?
and say I'd say there's closer to about 10,000
Yeah,
in the
Yeah.
world.
In
Of
the world,
people that
10,000.
Like, are we
super-
talking about like grade A, like A?
Yeah, that all
famous?
have the same
Yeah.
social circle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can do the math on that real quick.
Like, I want to bone Jennifer Aniston, grade A. Is that what we're talking? Nobody else
I'm
would.
only gonna agree with you because I know exactly what you're
What?
trying to say.
What?
But I don't agree with how you're saying it.
You don't like it?
Well, no,
Why would you say it?
I don't know. Like a classic,
Like you-
a
like-
classic
like you would-
no, like a classic American actor grade, famous.
Like you would bone
You-
Brad
you know,
Pitt,
let's
famous.
see, yeah. Wait, what? I just heard Brad Pitt. Fuck you. I would bone Brad Pitt. No, I wouldn't. I'd hang out with him. I'd smoke a doobie with him.
I know, right?
Okay,
Actually,
so-
no, I'd probably be Keanu Reeves. If I could smoke a blunt with any actor, it'd be Keanu Reeves. He seems like a chill guy.
So if I did this math right, which is entirely possible that I didn't do it right, especially because my phone calculator only goes up to 600 million, won't even do 6 billion. But the odds, there's 0.0000, there'd be another 0, 1,667. That's like less than a 10,000th or less than 100,000th of a percent of a chance that you could be a famous
That
person.
famous.
So you have better odds winning the lottery?
You have
maybe?
better odds of winning the lottery 3 times at the same time while being eaten by a shark that was being struck by lightning.
Wow. You fucking.
And that would be a good enough movie to get you
You
famous.
need
right
So
to
there.
what
have
you're
like the
telling
pick of
me
destiny or
is
something,
it's
dude.
possible, just not probable.
Yes. So you're telling me
You're
there's a
telling me
chance. What were you going to say?
He doesn't.
we have a chance to make out together. That's what you're saying?
There's always
I
a
mean,
chance.
you guys
There is
are
not
kind
enough
of.
alcohol or marijuana.
Or
on the
dabs?
face of
Nothing?
When
the
he
face
got
of
here
this
today,
planet,
he
no.
hugged me because we hadn't seen each other in that long. It was very tender.
Well, you probably
needs a hug, too.
you probably give good hugs.
Nick needs
I
a
do.
hug. Look at him. Look at
I'm
Nick.
like-
He needs a hug, doesn't he?
Yes. For everyone listening, DJ
Thanks,
just got
guys.
up and he
Even
just
though
gave Nick a nice little hug.
I smell like a sweaty fucking.
We all do, man. We were all at
Whatever.
work
I took
today.
a shower today.
See?
I took
I
one
took
this
a shower
morning.
after work.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What time do you get off?
Like fucking 3.
He
Okay.
probably
Dirty.
lives down the street. Doesn't
Meanwhile,
take him that
he's on
long.
his way over here right when I get off work, and you're texting me right when I get off work. Like, hey,
I was
nigga,
up here at
run
like
away.
5, so that's
Okay,
Yeah.
so I've got
you.
I've got some notes on some things I wanted to bring up. One
Okay,
thing
let's-
based
let's
off
do
of a
this.
conversation we had, you told me next time you were on that you wanted me to ask you about conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, dude, I am a huge conspiracy theory
Yes.
buff. Like,
And we started to
Oh,
mention it with
God.
the band, but I'd rather talk about it a little more in depth with you.
we mentioned the what?
yeah,
Conspiracy theories.
yeah.
Conspiracy theories.
Hey, wait, here's one conspiracy real quick. I've
Yeah.
been thinking about this today. Okay,
Please don't be anything like homophobic.
It's
not,
going to be.
No,
It
it's not.
is.
It's not. How many superheroes fly that don't have any capes? Is there any superheroes that don't have a cape that fly?
That
Silver
don't have a cape
Surfer.
that fly?
Yeah.
Silver
Who?
Surfer, doesn't he?
He's one. Rogue is another one. X-Men.
Yeah.
She flies. She doesn't have a cape.
Storm.
So,
Storm
I-
doesn't have a real cape. It's not attached to her back.
Is there? Because I was thinking, what if you take like Superman's like cape away? Does that
No.
That doesn't
make
affect him, dude. He's
No?
made out of he's from the planet Krypton. Come on.
I don't think his suit has anything to do with his powers.
It doesn't. He
like,
could
at
he could
all.
fly around naked.
You know, why isn't there one superhero who's gotten drunk and like walked around naked? Like,
I'm sure it happened, but they just don't want to.
I mean, Thor almost
publish
did it. Fat
beer belly.
Yeah.
They touched on that a little bit in Hancock, and I love the premise of that movie, even though the last act gets a little bit strange. But it's all about a superhero who's got all these powers but doesn't want to be a superhero, so he just like flies around drunk all the time.
I
But,
had
like,
I had a crazy. There's old guys at my work that work there, right? They're like big conspiracy theorists.
yeah.
One of them was talking to me. He was talking crazy about how Chester Bennington's like still alive. His suicide was just fake, right? And he was telling
people
me
have said that about all kinds of musicians throughout the fucking years.
That
and
he
you
was
know
trying to
what? They
tell
have
me
no
that-
type of proof.
they have.
Or
There's
just moving off camera.
there's this
No,
contract to
moving in
where
the camera actually like.
Oh, he
'cause
likes it.
I'm like,
You're not in the camera shot at all right now. I
What?
can see it.
well
What
we
the
can
fuck
see
just
your little dingaling.
There you
But-
go.
oh, there we go. This is where
Okay.
I wanted to be.
Okay.
He was saying that
This is a-
there's
this is a weird
contracts
place to
out
sit.
there that
It's
you
better.
can pretend to kill yourself and get rid of your like acting name, and then you can just pretend to die, and then you can go out in the world and not have to deal with
Like
it
think
what
you're
they're
making
anymore.
saying,
stuff
like
up.
Tupac did and
Yeah,
I
like
think you guys are making this up.
no, this is what the guy just told me. Like the weird,
Is this
the
a
weird old
conspiracy-
guy.
is this a
Yeah.
YouTube
No,
conspiracy
no,
theory?
this is
This
just
is
the old
Boeing.
guy at work at Boeing
Boeing?
conspiracy fucking
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I was just listening, but I'm just like, I don't think Chester Bennington's just gonna fake his death.
Well, and the one thing about all conspiracies is that none of them, to me, sound more ridiculous than the others because they're all taking something that no one really thinks happened a certain way and saying, well, what if it did? I mean, any hypothetical to me is just as realistic as the next because none of them are actually happening.
That
So,
you
like,
know of.
what are, well, yeah, but I'm saying they don't sound more or less ridiculous to me anymore. They all sound,
So the whole
It's yeah, hit me.
All right, boom, conspiracy theory time.
I feel left out because you guys are like stoned, and I'm over here just.
We'll take
so,
a dab.
No.
Good news is it's been passed in the White House to become federally legal soon. It'll happen, hopefully.
Not only that, but I wrote this down. I wanted to talk about this, whether I was stoned or not.
What, Area
Yeah, it was
51?
gonna happen.
No, just
No,
conspiracy
Just in
theories
general?
that's a
yeah.
recent happening. This conspiracy theory goes beyond that. So the whole Freemason Illuminati conspiracy
Yeah.
theories, right? So this is like the mother of all mothers. And I've actually watched a couple documentaries on Freemasons. So every
yeah,
Freemason,
they're still around.
So
right?
yes,
Yeah.
very, very,
And
very
people are
much
just
so. So
naturally
Freemasons are
suspicious of them.
so every Freemason club is all interconnected.
Yeah.
Now, to me,
And
though,
the way you become a Freemason is you're invited to be a Freemason.
but they're just like, are they there to protect shit, though? I'm trying to figure out what.
you're never gonna know.
no,
so-
no,
yeah.
nobody knows.
They
Nobody
don't
knows?
actually tell people
So,
what they do.
But exactly what happens is they have these huge meetings when they indict new members or whatever. You have new members, and it's in total secrecy. No phones, nothing. It's locked. Like they kick documentary cameras out, and like they're giving us. They don't even really talk about it other than like they bring stuff in for this ceremony, and it's all in huge secrecy. They wear these special garbs and these fucking
like
robes.
robes and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after the meeting, it's like, oh, everybody's happy. But what their main objective is when they bring someone in, they're like, okay, we need you to go do this because we need this guy over here to do this. And it's like a lot of like the one world government is built that way too. Like these conspiracy theories about the one world government being run by Freemasons and how like it is so interconnected that it's actually in our government. And that's why if you look on the back of the dollar, it's got the Freemason.
Yeah.
So wait, do you
All-seeing
actually
eye.
believe this, or is this just one that interests you?
This is like a conspiracy theory, but in all reality, I mean, I'm not dumb enough to think our government's ran the way that people say it's ran. It's not a democracy. It's a one world
It's all
government.
one-sided.
Our government has one objective. It doesn't matter who you vote for. It's just their objective is going to happen.
There's no way that any intelligent group running the world behind the show is going to think that having Donald Trump running America is a good fucking
They
idea.
planned that shit, man.
No, but it
It's-
was planned. It was strategically planned for a certain reason because he's such a fucking blubbering idiot that it puts your attention on him and away from something else. Or is he actually doing what their agenda needs to do? Like, the best way to fucking get away with something is do it right in front of people.
Yeah,
Like,
hide
the
in plain
best.
sight.
Like, hide it in plain fucking sight. Works with the fucking cops, works with parents. Doesn't fucking matter. Hide it in plain sight. And I think that's a lot of what goes on. So it's like, I paid attention to, like, the NFL stuff, too. It was like, I'm waiting for that to pop up. Because
Yeah.
it'll pop up soon. And that's a big national distraction because
What's the
everybody
NFL?
watches it.
Oh.
National Football League.
No, I'm saying,
Football.
but no, I know that, but what's the NFL thing? What,
He's saying that's a
It's just a huge
distraction.
distraction for Congress to go do a bunch of shit that otherwise people would object to.
Like-
Here's my problem with that theory already is that while Trump's been president, yeah, he's been a blithering fucking idiot, but so little has actually gotten done
yeah, there's no wall.
that we're not
nothing.
already paying attention to.
Yeah.
I mean, what could he possibly be covering up for them to be doing right now?
Well, he is the first one to fucking go hang out in North Korea, dude.
So that could be something to pay attention to this
Yeah.
next decade or so, is our relationship with North Korea and how that's going to
I
change.
really hope we don't have one. Fuck those
Well,
guys.
we do now. You Dennis Rodman that shit.
But so that's
That was
that's
weird,
one
by the way.
conspiracy theory, and then another that's like one I follow, and
All right.
and that one I tend to believe more. So like the one world government, Big Brother is watching type of shit. Another one is reptilians.
No way.
Lizard people?
The reptilian. This is an actual conspiracy, and it ties in with the
I
Illuminati
know it's a
thing.
conspiracy, but I
It
hope you
ties-
don't believe it, though.
No, I don't really believe
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's kind of far out there, and the videos are too fucked up. And I've watched the videos where people are like,
Or like it looks like a lizard
Yeah.
eye or something.
yeah, and I'm like, yeah, you don't know, the camera could be glitching, fucking whatever. There's that one.
Or the guy could have done that in Premiere in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, he could end up on Dateline.
Ooh, I love Dateline.
I love watching Dateline.
they're
And that's really it. Mainly like the alien conspiracy theories. And a lot of those I watch have to deal with like ancient Egypt and like where humans
See, I
as
like
a race
that,
come
yeah.
from. Because that interests me a whole lot more than just fucking like Jimmy Buffett down the street got his anus probed by some aliens. Like I don't care, bro. Like you're probably just some weird sex freak.
That's
and
the only part
just-
Nick cares about.
I know. And
got probed
I'm
the other
more
night.
I'm more interested in the like, how did this get placed here? What do these signs mean? Like all these different peoples from different parts of the globe around the same time have the same markings of the same things that look like something from outer space.
Now, do you believe in the ones where like aliens came down back in those old times and helped them direct like how to build pyramids and shit? Or
I've seen a few documentaries, and
Yeah.
I'm more convinced that like ancient peoples thought they were gods. Like it
Right.
would make more sense because they came from the heavens.
Hmm.
If you think the world is fucking flat or fucking whatever, you're gonna fucking be like, "What the fuck is this?" Especially if it comes in some kind of flying craft and it lowers and it comes out and you're in a spacesuit.
The Vimanas.
I'm
or
gonna be
whatever they
fucking
call them.
convinced that you're a fucking god if I'm not as educated as I am now.
Yeah.
Like if I was Hillbilly Jim.
Now, like-
fucking-
Right. Like if you had never seen any technology before,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have any frame of reference to know that wasn't godlike.
Yeah, and then there's another conspiracy theory that says like here pretty soon, our society as well as a few other societies will be introduced to an alien race, and that's why we've been drip fed that image of an alien, and to
That's
be
what
so,
Tom DeLonge's talking about.
to be so comfortable with that image
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
thought that now it's time to introduce these people. Be like, this is reality.
Well, he keeps saying like he's fucking scared or he's scared shitless too about what he knows, but he can't say anything.
Well, but
think about this. Think about this. There's two possibilities out there. Either we're alone or we're not.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're
I don't
both
think we
equally
are,
terrifying.
Yes.
Right. But what I wanted to say about the thing that when we mentioned Tom DeLonge, when he did Joe Rogan's podcast in the last year or so, he
just did a recently one too. You should watch it later because he's more comfortable than
I will.
he was. Yeah,
I will. But I thought that by the end of that show, he was proving that the stuff he was saying was being backed up by paperwork and stuff like that. But what he said was that not only has the government been doing that and spoon feeding us those images to prepare us, but that the reason he's doing what he's doing is because they've selected him to help kind of speed up the process. He's supposed to be starting to distill some of the more terrifying stuff into media forms like TV shows, movies, and
he
stuff
was saying
like that.
in the new interview the other day that we should maybe see like a little bit more in the next, like 2 to 5 years.
Yeah.
It's hard because
and take a look at technology too. Like so.
Maybe that's why we're seeing all the mumble rappers now.
they're fucking aliens.
So factual, right? The United States government will release technology that is 7 years old to the public as new technology.
Yep.
So that means that brand new fucking phone or brand new computer that just came out today is already 7 years old and fucking useless to our government.
What do they have fucking now?
Exactly. And it's like, if you think about it, it's like there are probably satellites that can take pictures of fucking what's on your fucking phone.
I always like to joke around with myself and like say shit that might catch my phone and it might go through like a FBI fucking wanted thing,
Oh, did you know you can actually probably access what your phone records while you just have it on you? Because I do all the time.
Really?
Yes, dude. I can go to my audio files and there's just random conversations recorded to my phone that I haven't touched.
They're actually saved on your phone?
Yeah, it's a trip. It freaks me out.
Wow. I'm guessing on an iPhone like mine, there's no way to even find those. You'd probably have to have Android.
They probably have it so.
Or like sometimes
anyway.
my phone will come on acting like I asked for it, like I asked it a question.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And I'd be like, I didn't fucking say anything. It's quiet.
Meanwhile,
Who's tapping my shit?
There's an FBI guy in a van that was like, "Oh fuck, I just clicked it. damn it.
I did it again. He knows."
It was just funny how I got that one email about how if I don't send them money, they'll send everybody on my email and messengers like videos of me watching porn with my camera, right? I didn't fall for it.
There's a movie about that.
Yeah. And I
That's
actually
total
got
bullshit.
one. I just started laughing, but they probably could. I mean, maybe they do have one. They just didn't. I don't know.
But even if they had your phone while you're watching porn, all they're going to see is the
porn,
disgusting
face
faces
or
you
your
make.
dick.
No, because you're
whacking
not.
off.
No, you're not pointing your phone at your dick when you're watching porn.
That's true. I try to picture like I'm in there like this.
Yeah. Somehow I knew he was that kind of guy.
All they got was your face, dude.
It's just going to be a bunch of Nick just like.
There'll be a government meme soon.
You like that, FBI? Ooh.
It'll just be a government meme.
Oh, Tom DeLonge.
Nick's doing it again.
And then they accidentally hit the button, and you're like, "No, I didn't mean." Ah, damn it.
That's
Fucking conspiracies, man.
So wait. So on any of those, like,
Which
how
one do
many
you
of them, or
believe?
which ones do you believe? Yeah.
I would say the Freemason Illuminati government thing. Like, it makes a lot of sense. That and the whole, like, you'll be introduced to an alien race in the near future and it has to do with our past kind of thing. Because I feel like there's been a whole bunch of secrecy. Just, it doesn't matter how you look at it. There's so much secrecy behind any type of alien interaction. And it's like, no matter how many documentaries I've watched or cheesy YouTube videos that are actually backed up by factual documents that have links to these documents.
Yeah.
Like the United States Air Force, what is it? 1977 UFO handbook?
Yeah. When it talks about
the
like the Mount Rainier sightings.
Project
and
Blue
stuff.
Book.
Yep.
Like, and it's been covered up since then. So it's like, okay, well, what the fuck is there if there's so much behind it? They're just like, yeah, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Don't worry about it.
Can you imagine if like all these things that the government does that are supposedly shady are really the actual conspiracy?
True.
They're making everyone suspect that they're hiding secrets about aliens, Meanwhile, the real secret is something really, really stupid or mundane.
Like Godzilla or something?
Yeah, like they've successfully bred Godzilla, and they've actually like mated people with him. And they've got these weird lizard babies about to take over,
Probably.
but not yet.
I'm worried about like the more like robot situation that people are getting involved.
Yeah,
dude.
The AI Skynet theory. There's a conspiracy theory about AI and Skynet too. So take Terminator, right? But apply that to real life, where our AI becomes self-aware, and then decides that humans are a disease because we kind of are.
I've always had that exact problem with that whole concept, though, is that just because a computer was able to realize that it existed and became self-aware doesn't mean it would view us as a threat. I think that
it always happens
it would
that
probably
way, though.
view us as inferior and just.
It might view us as inefficient, but think about it. Only living things have a fight or flight response, and that is what ends up being derived into something where, you know, you would say, oh, you're a threat, I'm going to eliminate you first. Computers are not built that way because they don't have that instinct. That's a living thing.
True.
So a computer that became self-aware...
If you're self-aware, does that mean you're going to develop that response or no?
I don't think so. I think that what's going to happen is there will be created an AI singularity where a computer will start to know and learn things at a rate beyond humans, but it's never going to have the impetus to do anything with all that information. It's just going to collect it.
Don't you think it'll do what it, like all those movies and shit shown? Like, you say it's like innocent, but then it'll be like, oh, I'm going to download the internet, and then it's going to see all this bad shit and like take all that emotion and be like, humans are bad, like he's saying.
I don't think that it would view us as good or bad. I think that machines would be indifferent because
view us as benign.
I mean, why would a machine who learns all this stuff suddenly go, okay, I need to build a machine body to wipe these things out? No, if anything, logic's going to dictate that it's going to want to sit and create a way to observe all this shit and just watch and see what happens with the rest of this shit show. I think that if we do create AI to that level, it's going to just want to watch us. It's going to want to collect data. It's going to become a data black hole even, where everything in the universe is eventually learned. That's my opinion, because
that'd be cool.
It's so stupid to think that machines would have a problem with us.
Now, let's say...
Yeah, I think humans thinking that machines would have a problem as a human.
That's only because we have a problem with whatever created us. We don't know what it is. We don't know how we feel about it.
We're pissed off about being here.
That's our own neuroses.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, a machine who's like, oh yeah, you created me and this is my function. Okay, cool. Now I just know everything.
And I exist.
Would you have sex with a robot?
No, I don't think I could do that. Would you?
I don't know, dude. Maybe.
Would you?
Who
have
knows?
you ever
I
used?
think I have.
Here's the question: have either of you guys used like a sex toy when you were by yourself?
No.
Never?
No.
Okay.
No.
Nick has to think about it.
Nick, if you have to think about it that long, that's a yes, and so you fucked a robot.
You already have, man.
No.
You basically just told everybody that you fuck robots all the time.
I mean,
if you have to think about it. See, I didn't have to think about it. I haven't fucked a robot. I don't want to fuck a robot. I probably already have fucked a couple robots.
It told me it wasn't a robot. I mean,
he's thinking, do dildos count as
robots?
I
was like, does a vibrator count?
Yes.
You know,
I've listened to so many fucking episodes, and I know exactly like where your brain goes. And you're right. He's not that stupid.
He's really not. It's just
he just likes to act that way.
Well, and
he's just a punk ass.
What I love about Nick is that he says things that I think are funny, but I'm not willing to say. So he kind of takes one for the team on that stuff and kind of has an edge for us.
He's your comedic relief.
Because I'm not funny at all.
No.
I follow Tom DeLong on Instagram, you know?
I bet you
Shocker.
do. I do. He posted this one. It was exotic material from an unidentified vehicle, you know? It looks like this, right?
That looks like a rock to me.
Is this part of the sex toy question?
No, but I wrote a comment, and it's like the highest liked comment through all of his comments. I wrote, you sure that's not your old foreskin?
Do you wonder why he doesn't want to talk to you?
And then some of us like, someone wrote that's punk rock or something. I was like, dude, I'm just trying to keep Tom DeLonge's humor alive, you know? Because
I'm trying to remind him. Yeah. He was the guy who sang Dysentery Gary.
Yeah,
and all those other ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, if you were a Blink fan, you would know this. Okay?
I would know that, but I'm not. I'm a Mushroom Head and Slayer, and
Blink was the first band I listened to after I was getting out of like the Christian music and acoustic rock phase. I was mostly
That's like a weird segue to like.
Yeah, well,
like.
Okay, so me and my two friends were leaving over the summer to go to the Gorge to see Dave Matthews Band. That's what I was into. And then Enema the State had just come out. This is my junior year of high school. And so we stopped at Fred Meyer to get CDs for the road trip. And this is a really old story already. And so I saw it and I was like, this one's new and exciting. It was Enema.
It was the Enema in the State?
But I hadn't heard What's My Age Again yet or anything. It was just like it had just come out. So we're like, yeah, let's try it. We put it in the stereo in the truck, and we must have listened to it 4 straight times on the way to the Gorge. It was just so good. Every song on that is fantastic.
That's the one I got into first when I was in middle school. You know, but
I'm an old guy. Yeah.
But it directed me to go under that and look up their old stuff. Now, granted, I like all Blink shit except for the new shit now because it's not Blink.
I still like it.
I know you do. It's
Blink
weird.
Line Trio,
and he's not good at it, but it's fine. I'm really glad Travis joined when he did.
Yeah,
because Scott's a good drummer, but Travis is one of a kind.
Travis is like between Dude Ranch and Enema, it's a huge night and day difference.
I just wish we had a drummer like that, you know? Fucking.
It's not like Ron's ever gonna
fucking
hear
DJ over here could probably even do better on a fucking little pad.
Yeah.
What? Iron Lungs over there. He's
Iron
crying
Man
a little bit.
I'm probably ripped as fuck.
Oh. Are we gonna talk about a movie that we wanted to and we couldn't discuss it yet? Spider-Man.
Have you seen Spider-Man?
Man.
He's not into it.
I still got Venom sitting on my fucking DVD
You've never
player.
seen that yet?
Well, Spider-Man and Venom aren't connected in these movies. I don't really know if you care, but
I do. That's not cool. I love Venom. I like Carnage too. I'm fucking dying right now, dude.
Yeah, you are. He looks like he just woke up.
Now, did you get any comic books at all when you were a kid? Did you just not give a shit? I don't even know how your childhood was. Let's talk about this.
You did read Spider-Man comics.
Yeah.
Did you read comic books as a kid?
Like the Archie ones. Maybe I'd pick up one every now and then. I just recently kind of got into them.
Reader's Digest.
Yeah. Or,
I had a
TV Guide channel book.
I once ordered a little pack of comics, and they were DC comics, and none of them were like the big superheroes, so I didn't really read them, but I owned them. But I was more into like Calvin and Hobbes and stuff like that. And then, like high school came around. That's when I started getting into superheroes and culture a little bit more. And our DJ just left.
He's fucking out like Trout, dude. He's leaving us all as good.
He's baked and paranoid after talking about lizard people.
I know. So. Fucking the Freemasonry is going to come get his ass. Bend him over.
I'm trying to communicate with him, all right?
He's calling some dinosaurs in there.
Now, would you say you had like a mediocre childhood?
I'm getting real here.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, not really.
No?
Like, I'm a white boy from the ghetto, dude. I don't.
Now, from the ghetto where?
Yakima.
Yakima.
Smack 'em on.
Now, would you change that to be like in a nice, rich suburb?
No.
No, you'd keep it?
Yeah.
I want to be in the nice, rich suburb now, but...
Like, sometimes I would think of, like, what if my parents were, like, really famous, you know? And I was raised being rich and famous. I mean, sometimes we get tired of living this 9-to-5 life trying to just scrape on by.
Yeah.
It depresses me.
But don't you think you would have turned out a lot differently and maybe not appreciated it as much if you were born that way? Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, I'm so glad I'm rich. It would just be something you're used to.
Like my dad's Ozzy Osbourne, you know what I mean? Be like, hey, Dad, I want to make a record.
Okay, son.
Shut up, guys.
I think Ozzy's one of those people that everyone tries to do an impression of.
You know what? I'm surprised that motherfucker's outlasted everybody that's died.
Right?
It's crazy.
Dude, no shit.
We've got rock stars in their 30s and 40s dying, and meanwhile Ozzy's like 107 and can barely speak.
Beach cancer and fucking, or no,
Kicks its
Sharon
ass.
beach cancer. Didn't Ozzy too?
I think so, but then I think he like cheated on her. So I can't.
They're
keep
still
up with all the
together
drama.
though.
Are they?
I think. She's not gonna leave your side, dude. He'd die probably.
See, I can talk a lot of subjects, but like pop culture and what's going on with celebrities is really
I
not
have
my
not a
strong
fucking-
suit.
I got not a clue.
No. There's a couple I follow just because I like what they're in and like them.
Did
as
you
people,
guys
but-
ever play with like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys?
Yes.
Dude,
I
used
was
to pull 'em
remembering-
apart. Check this out. I used to take a screwdriver and pull them apart and like swap their legs and their arms and their heads around.
Really?
Like all together all the time. Dude, my mom used to get so fucking
I remember
pissed.
I had the van. I was remembering that, and I would fucking play with it all
I
the
used
time.
to have the Ghostbusters car.
Oh
I
shit!
was never allowed to have anything but from that, and even my Ninja Turtles I had to keep at my dad's house because if my mom found them, she'd throw them away. 'Cause
had-
all that shit was evil.
See, my house was backwards, so like my dad's house.
Was like
It was
Christian.
like Legos, and yeah, it was fucking Baptist. So there was that family, and then my mom was just like always at work. So it was like I don't know, I like grew up in the fucking ghetto, and
Yeah.
my dad fucking single white male in the fucking 90s, you know. So yeah, like there was a lot of influence just from all over the world, but like after a while, my dad was just like, "Oh, Christian this, Christian that." And it was just like, "I don't know about this, pops." And then
Yeah.
my mom was like, "Do your thing, be support." Like she was supportive of my art, even when I was 8 in the fucking living room with pots and pans, listening to the radio, banging on them and shit. Like
I
that was
love
me
doing
as a
that,
kid,
yeah.
dude. And then like with my dad's house, I would dream of doing that. My stepmom would whoop my ass, fucking mom for fucking up her pots and pans.
I remember I got
Yeah.
drumsticks once, just no drums, just banging shit all the time.
I did destroy the kitchen once though, with a knife.
Fuck,
I
dude.
ran around
With
with,
a knife?
with a butcher knife. So we had this Formica countertop. It's fucking expensive as shit, and I just ran through and like cut the fuck out of it. Like, dude,
You know what
I was listening. I can't remember what the fuck I was
You
listening
know-
to. I was listening to something really aggressive, and I was just like,
We
yeah.
didn't start the fire.
You know how like you've seen movies where they'll like dig out a pit and they'll put like stakes at the bottom of it, you know, and like hide it with like leaves and shit.
Yeah, that doesn't probably really work.
Oh yeah,
Well,
right.
right, well,
to catch an animal.
I
or
was a
something.
teenager. We were hanging out with my friends, and we did that. It was kind of like it was at a river, but like a beach area. It's kind of popular. We were like, oh fuck it, we did that. We put like sharp sticks and we covered it.
Oh,
and like
God.
to this day, like I feel bad about it, like in case someone like walked
You
on
probably
it.
killed like some kid's fucking dog.
I do.
or the kid.
Yeah,
that's
the
yeah.
dog's looking around looking for little Sammy, and he can't find him. The dog falls in the same fucking pit, little like Wiley or some shit.
Hey Nick, what was the exact location of that? Because I want to look it up online.
It's just Arizona somewhere. You know.
Just
I'm glad
Arizona
you weren't
somewhere.
stupid enough to tell me. I didn't want to have to bleep that out.
Beep. Beep 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 beep.
If you lost your dog or cat randomly like 20 years ago in the woods,
Blame Nick.
yeah, and you lived in somewhere in Arizona,
Yeah.
What
Somewhere in
was that?
Arizona.
Isn't that a hashtag? Fuck Nick. Wasn't that a hashtag? No.
Dude, we could
it
make
should
it.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Nick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like your Twitter handle.
What's
Jesse
it?
sucks.
Yeah,
That's like my favorite Twitter handle.
That comes
ever.
from the inner Jesse, you know.
well, no, I have one that's at Jesse Pepin, and it's one that I've used a lot for professional work, like in digital video and stuff. So when I wanted to start being a little more real
Good
and
thing I haven't
personable,
tweeted that one.
yeah. Well, I didn't want to mix them because I didn't necessarily want all those people to see that side of me. I'm the same on Facebook. So I was like, okay, so what would be a fun Twitter name? Oh, I'll grab this before one of my ex-girlfriends does or something, you know?
See, that's
Jesse
perfect.
sucks.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, and any other Jesse's ex-girlfriends that may wanna.
Yeah.
Like
Now they all come
you
through
cover,
me.
Yeah, you are the Jesse sucks.
What's one relationship
Oh.
that you would take back?
A relationship I would take back?
Yeah.
I mean, any of the ones
Like-
where I got cheated on sound pretty
Well,
good.
is there like one like growing as like a teenager or growing up in 20s, like one that you hated so much you would just take it back?
You are digging deep on these episodes.
know,
This
right?
episode, man. Like your past episodes, you don't really.
Like mine, I would try to get back my high school relationship that I wasted all my teenager years from like the end of like 14 to 15 to like 18 years old. I was in a relationship. I didn't get to do Like any orgies or, you know,
I've had nothing but
threesomes with a
relationships.
dude.
I've never done that.
You've never done that?
No.
I've never done it either, but I don't know if I would.
I suppose there would be one that I would remove just because, not because of what it was like when I was with her, but for how long it took me to like recover afterwards. And I'm not going to say her name, but she's got some mutual friends like with
Is it
Sky and all
Abby?
that. No, never dated Abby. I don't know how that would go. But no, this was someone I met when I was like 21 at a show we were playing. And we had this really good, like kind of intense relationship for a couple months. And then it went really wrong. She really messed with my head on a few things. And I didn't recover for years. But
Nope.
yeah, other than that, when you date people for such a short amount of time, it's hard to build up enough resentment to really care to change it once you're a little ways in the future, you know?
Yeah, because I've recently had a breakup. I don't know how you are, DJ, over there, but why is it that guys like?
High as fuck. Right
I know. Why is it that guys always take the breakups and shit harder than the women? It seems like the women just move a lot quicker, faster than we do.
No, it's just because the ones who are that, you know,
I think
sad
it depends
about it.
on how attached you were, like what aspect of your life it affected. Like,
it can take girls like 10 times longer to get over one than most guys that I know. It's because they're a little better about not showing that side of them to someone like you. They can protect themselves a
Like
little.
you.
No,
Like you.
whether it's your female friend or an ex-girlfriend of yours, she doesn't want you to see how sad she is. And if it's a female friend, you know, there's a number of reasons she may not want you to see that side of her either. And I think they're better at hiding that than your guy friends because we're all a bunch of moody little bitches.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, whenever I'm bothered about something, I become a little whiny bitch. And I know
just
your
don't
other
talk
friends,
or
and
say
we all
anything.
qualify. So it's not that guys take it harder, but I think guys do take it more harder than a lot of women believe we do.
Yeah.
They take it more harder.
We take it more harder.
Take it more harder.
Man, I'm talking like Nick right
Have you
now.
ever had a girl have sex with you and then like secretly try to put her finger in your butt just like during sex and like spring it up on you and you're like, oh, what are you doing?
This is a trap.
What?
Nick wants to know if he can share a part of himself right now.
No, I
He
had
doesn't wanna be
one
alone.
like tried to. I'm like, no, like no.
No, I did have a story I wanted to tell about the very first time I got a blowjob, though. It's kind of
let's
funny.
hear it.
It's not like an embarrassing sex story, but it's a story that every time I think about it, I kind of chuckle.
Is it the bubblegum one?
No, this was the very first time. So it was like junior, maybe beginning of senior year of high
Start
school.
thinking of yours.
Nope.
Come on, man.
Nope. And I was dating this girl who lived about 100 miles away down in Olympia, and I'm not going to say her name or anything, but she was probably like
That's a real
my
big
first
general
like
area.
adult. Yeah, she was my first like adult relationship. I would actually drive down to see her instead of having our parents take us out, kind of thing.
That's
you
so
know?
much nicer.
And so I had gone down there on a Friday night to go to this dance at her high school, and because it was so far, her parents and my parents worked it out that I could crash there, and which was insane. My mom never would have let me do that. I don't know why she did, but the next morning, which was going to be a Sunday morning, we got up and her family all went out to eat and stuff. So we kind of, you know, I woke up in her brother's room. I had to sleep over there, and then we went into her room and we were hanging out, and then started fooling around, and she starts to go down, and then she's like, "May I?" And I was like, "Yeah."
May I?
So then,
Yeah.
yeah, and trust me, that was pretty hot just to even be asked. Like, fuck
I know.
yeah, I was hoping you'd ask. So she's doing that for a little while, and I kind of roll my head over and look at the clock, and I think to myself, 10:30 a.m. on a Sunday. I'd normally be in church right now.
Oh God.
That was it. Like we didn't end up having sex. I had lost my virginity much later, and she was one of the coolest girlfriends I had. But yeah, I thought that was a funny little story.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my transition into dirtbag, I guess.
That's a pretty smooth transition.
That's where it started.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Okay, so coming back to you over here, you're making me feel like you had like a weird altercation where you had like no control over it. It's like you were blindfolded and you got the blindfold off,
Dude,
and it
I
was
just-
a dude.
Look, I took like 3 dabs sitting here in front of you. I am fucking high.
He's melting.
I
right
know,
now.
dude.
I'm attached to this chair. You can ask. Ask me anything right now.
Okay, what's your first blowjob
I don't
story?
remember.
Yeah.
What's your middle name, man?
I don't remember.
Maybe
Do you remember anything? What'd you eat today? It was a Taco Bell.
No.
No, but ask him how many dabs he did.
How many dabs did you do today?
3.
I knew that he knew something.
I ate a fucking corn dog.
From
Is that a
7-Eleven?
euphemism?
No, it was not a euphemism. I ate it from Safeway.
Did it taste good?
It's pretty good, man. It's
Would you
warm.
rate it as a Gordon Ramsay corn dog or like a?
A Nick corn dog.
So
Yeah,
on a
corn
scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the highest, 0 being the lowest, I'd rate it about like a 6.5.
That's a solid.
Now
corn
that's
That's a
good.
solid
It's
corn
good
dog right
that
there,
you
man.
did the 0.5 system. Usually, amateurs would be like 4.
Well,
it's a 5.
well, it's like a 6.5, 6.8.
6.872333447.
So between like 3 people, consensus would be like 7. 7 point.
A 7-point system.
A 7-point
7
corn
point
dog.
average.
It sounds better than a 7-inch corn dog.
Now, would you say this corn dog graciously went into your mouth pretty well, or was it?
I mouth the fuck out of that motherfucker, man. Destroy that thing.
He doesn't have a gag reflex.
No,
No?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I do actually. It's horrible. I throw up a lot when I drink.
Can you make a DJ song about a corn dog?
I probably could.
Yeah.
We should do that, the corn dog song. And then we'll
I'll
write like
have
a
to
battle
get like an
rap
8-year-old
over it.
just saying corn dogs,
You know,
and then a drop. Wow, wow,
in a
wow,
day where
wow.
Baby Shark is so popular, I'll bet a corn dog song would actually
Dude, it would probably
get some
murder.
traction.
You know
I
what
hope
gains
so. I would
attraction?
hope so.
Like what gets a lot of views is like people eating food
Stupidity.
and
Cats.
fucked up pranks. Cats.
Kitty cats.
Now, do you agree with the pranks that they're doing now,
My
or
cat's got more
like
Instagram likes than I do.
seriously?
Probably.
Oh, is it Felix
Pictures
the
of my
cat?
No, it's gingivitis, man. He's got a
Oh,
song.
yeah, that's right.
He's got a song named after him too on an EP I did, but he's pretty chill. I think he
Does he do dabs too?
No, he doesn't like it.
He doesn't like.
He doesn't even like catnip. He's fucking weird.
He doesn't like it.
He's just a straight edge cat. Why
He
you gotta
is.
be
Did you
belittling
guys-
his lifestyle?
I'm not.
Have you,
just
did you
offering,
guys
I'm
ever
being
watch
nice.
that Fritz the Cat movie?
No.
What?
You never heard of that? That
Uh-uh.
old cartoon Fritz the Cat movie, and it ended up being weird. And there's like cats in there, like fucking
Are you from
having
a parallel
orgies.
universe where it's
I'm a
Fritz and not
reptilian,
Felix?
Oh, are we witnessing the Mandela effect right
We
now?
are.
Yeah, I don't think that
Wah, wah,
existed,
wah,
Nick.
wah.
There's
No.
Felix the cat.
No, there's Fritz the Cat, dude.
No,
Are
dude,
you
it's
guys?
Felix
No.
the cat.
There is Felix the Cat, but
Yeah.
there's Fritz the
No,
Cat.
there's
As
not.
I'm gonna
Nope.
fucking Google this shit. Dude.
I don't
Google
even
it.
believe Google on this
Yeah,
one. It
yeah.
didn't happen.
It
It's
fucking
a fucking
happened.
conspiracy.
You guys,
I've noticed
you
that's
guys
been a
do
thing
know what
too.
I'm talking about, don't you?
No,
we
I
don't.
genuinely don't.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny to me because I genuinely don't.
Look, Fritz the Cat, 1972.
Let me peeps that bad boy.
Yeah, I gotta see this for my own eyes.
But there's like an orgy, like scene with cats in there. It's weird shit.
There's what?
Yeah.
Is this like a black and white weirdo
No,
cartoon?
it's a cartoon. Are
Is it in
you
color?
Facebooking my shit right now?
No.
I'm gonna.
See, it's just, I don't know what you thought you saw there.
Get out of here.
I just changed it to
The
Felix
Felix
and
the
handed it back to him.
I wanted to see the Fritz
No,
the
no,
cat.
you don't, dude.
If you didn't recognize the name, you're not gonna recognize the
Yeah, you're not
pictures.
gonna recognize. You can't even recognize your own
I'm still
dick
gonna-
right
I'm
now.
gonna Google
You're
it.
too high. Yeah, Google it after the show.
Fucking.
We
It's not gonna happen. I'll forget.
we should probably call this one by the way.
Yeah,
It's about
hopefully,
that time.
hopefully he doesn't die driving, dude. Cause
No,
No,
you can
yeah,
chill
yeah.
here until you're good.
I planned on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, I see what's going on.
All right,
man.
guys. Yeah, Nick, you can stay too if you want.
Fuck that,
The
dude. I'm
sandwich
gonna
might
go.
need some
We have an
filling.
important show tomorrow. I gotta go home and get some fucking sleep
We
and
do.
then work and Kameno Island. I fucking hate it. I wish there was an extra room here. I'd just fucking move in.
Yeah. Well, there's not.
I know
So
there's
fuck
not.
you.
Yeah, I know. I'll just have the other roommate kick you out and I'll
Yeah.
just move right in.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll work.
DJ
All right,
Fallen,
yeah.
thank you again for coming in and
Don't
doing
forget
another
to
show.
check out his
Fuck yeah.
trap stuff, dude. Cause it's trap-a-lackin'.
I don't know what it is.
Is
I
it
don't
just
know what
trap?
it is either. I'm just going off
I
by
still
the
don't know what it
sweatshirt
is.
you give me.
Yeah, I would.
Baby Mama's Love Trap.
They do.
Now, I did not understand that until my ex told me what that meant.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit, that's right. They do love trap music because they fucking trap you and they get the pregnant and then you giving them all your money.
They get
that's what it
the
meant.
pregnant.
Well, that's where I went.
I went with, like, if you call it a baby mama, obviously she listens to, like, one of you two listens to trap. So
The way
I went the other direction.
I took it a completely different way. I looked at it as like girls who like trap end up becoming baby mamas because they DTF.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I took it like.
Grenades. I guess your sweatshirt's like a fucking
3 different
eulogy
meanings
for
for the
like
same-
different shit.
that's genius marketing.
There's
right
the
there.
Mandela
There's
effect.
the way to end it. And don't forget to try to buy sweatshirts.
Buy
you
a
know?
hoodie. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy one of his hoodies, buy one of ours. We still got a contest going to win one.
Yeah, it's going to end in like 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for listening again. Thanks again, DJ Fallen, for doing the show.
Of
This
course.
And
has
he's falling,
been
all right.
Cheeky Shenanigans.
And have a consensual day,
Yeah.
everyone.
Consensual day.
Consensual day.
Have a dab day. Too.
Have a dab day. Have a abby dabby day.
Dabba dabba do
A
ya.
little dabble do.
And we out.